Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
I'm Jolly Paul.
Welcome to episode 174. On this episode, we have been to the cinema to watch Companion, and our movie from the vault is Tourist Trap from 1979. Good year that was.
Is that the year of birth for you, was it?
That was the year that I entered the world.
It was a good year, 79. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that Alien? The same year as Alien? Was that 78?
No, that was Matt's birth again.
It probably looked the same when I came out.
Nice. Yeah. And we got a couple of the next couple of weeks. There's a plethora of movies coming out to watch. But what have you been up to the last couple of weeks, Matt? Let's hear from you.
Wow, I haven't watched a great deal of horror. I've got to be honest with you boys. I've been trying to get through movies that I should have seen, but I haven't because I've had slaps in the face for. So things like Taxi Driver and films of that nature. But I did see something with a horror edge to it, a sci-fi horror edge to it, since we're talking about Companion later on. I watched a film called Soylent Green. I don't know if you've seen this film at all.
I haven't seen it. I've heard of it, not seen it.
Jordy Paul?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, long time ago, but I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a mental film. It's got Charlton Heston in it, so it's quite an old one from 1973. But it's literally about the future and what's happened to the world and stuff. And then there's a really dark kind of undertone to the movie, and it's pretty messed up by the end of it. But it's quite funny because it's kind of like saying that it's like I think it's 2022 in the actual film or something like that. So that's what they think the future would be like from 1973 to 2020. So it's pretty mental. But yeah, that was quite good. I watched that. But other than that, I haven't watched any other horror. What about you?
Well, I watched a good couple. I watched an action horror with Frank Grillo called Werewolves. Which
you watched it?
Amazon, yeah. It was alright. It's not as sci-fi. It was sort of shaping up to be some kind of sci-fi channel movie, but honestly, it went a bit beyond that. It was actually not half bad. Some of the transformations were pretty fun, and yeah, and the actual action and stupid amount of guns. It was like The Purge, basically, but like for werewolves. So like, there's a supermoon that turned anyone that's in direct moonlight gets turned into a werewolf and stuff like that. So they're battering down the hatches for the second time this moon's come around, and it's that sort of Purge angle to it. Really, so not bad. It was alright. I watched with all my wrestling that I've been watching. I found there was a wrestling horror movie on Shudder called Dark Match, which has our mate from Scared Shitless and Walking Dead, Stephen Ogg, in it.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't half bad. It was sort of very DIY filmed, had Chris Jericho in it as well. And the wrestling was kind of, kooky. It was like, low end wrestling, circuit goes to this really weird cult, and they just have like stupid matches. There's sort of a cult theme. So, lots of blood splatter and deaths, and yeah, the gore was fantastic. It's very, very Joe Begas.
That sounds like you just described Members Club, but a wrestling film for Members Club.
Yeah, but it was very dark and gritty. I liked it. I watched this weird one with Jodie King from like 2018 called The Lie. It's more of a thriller, but it's sort of like when it's sort of a good moral story of like why not to lie to your parents about when your friend is going to go off to her boyfriend's house. Spoilers for anyone that's seen it. Yeah, it's just a thing that comes completely out of control, and the parents in it don't handle it the best. But yeah, not a bad little tale, that one, The Lie. It's free on Amazon Prime. So yeah, those ones. I mean, I watched Anora as well. up for an Oscar. Not really a horror movie, but not what I expected it to be. Very good movie. Does Sean Baker, this chap, deserves all the plaudits. Very good.
George,
Cool. Well, I've watched quite a lot of shit, to be honest, but I'll go through it.
let me get my pillow.
Oh my god, I kind of just picked my films and I was like distinctly average, but I'll start off with a good one. I rewatched Aliens the other day. It was just on the TV, so I watched that. Obviously, classic, Stone Cold, 10 out of 10. I finally watched Subservience. I mean, filthy, filthy. But yeah,
It's what Megan wanted to be, right?
well, yeah, Megan 2.0. Yeah, yeah, it was alright. It was alright. It was a bit bland on it, to be honest. But yeah, okay. I also watched Dark Match.
What do you think?
Yeah. I kind of saw the trailer a couple of months ago and I thought, oh, this looks alright. I don't think I liked it as much as Butch, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't the worst thing I've seen. You're not too far off Members Club, but like a darker version of it. There wasn't a lot of comedy in there. Yeah, and the end, obviously I won't spoil it, but the end was just mental.
I love the end.
I bet you did. Do you know what it reminded me of? Tribute, the video.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was alright. It was, I mean, it's worth a watch if you've got nothing better to do, but it was, again, average. I watched, I've never seen this before, and it's one of them films I always thought, I'll watch it one day. I watched Rampage.
Rampage, that's with
The Rock.
The Rock and the big
I
gorilla,
loved
right?
the computer game as a kid, and I mean, yeah, I'd rather play that than watch this again. So yeah,
Terrible film.
Awful. It was really bad, but I don't know what I was expecting. I went and watched Final Destination 2 after the Final Destination episode. I mean, the drop off in quality is after the initial car crash scene. The drop off in quality of the film is, I don't know, just the acting and everything. So I don't know if I want to go and watch 3 or 4. But yeah, it was all right. Some decent deaths in it, but nothing too mental. I watched the new film on Amazon Prime, Elevation,
with Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Any good?
No.
Thanks for watching it then.
It's like a poor man's Quiet Place, if I'm honest. It's like monsters have taken over the world. We've got this like mechanism where we can kind of escape them if we want to, but we're going to go against that to put ourselves in jeopardy for some plot point. And it is like paint by numbers. But it kind of does something at the end where it kind of like, I don't think they'll make a sequel, but it kind of opens it up for a sequel. But it doesn't explain anything. But it like goes, it reveals things, but doesn't really explain why. It just, yeah, it's a bit weird, and some of the acting is really shocking in it as well, so not great. I caught this really weird. You remember Simon the Count when he came on and said there was a TV channel which did all like old sort of horror films from like the 70s and 60s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was kind of flicking, and I just put this thing on because it sounded quite good. Called the Asphyx.
Asphyx.
No, Asphyx. So basically, it's this like 70s film with Robert Powell, who was with Jasper Carrott in that TV detective show.
Oh my god!
So it's got him in it, right? And it's quite camp, and it's quite like schlocky, but it kind of had a little bit of charm to it. I mean, it was average, but the idea was really cool, and I thought it would make quite a good film nowadays. It was about parapsychologists and a scientist who noticed that when people were about to die, there was like a cloud, an image above them. And basically that was like death coming for you to take you. And they worked out in this experiment that basically everyone's got a different one that they call an asphyx. And basically you can... Asphyx, darling, yes. And then basically if you capture that, it means that you can't die. And you're immortal. And you capture the spirit. the premise was really good. There was a couple of really good special effects, but the rest of it was just a bit, like I said, a bit too schlocky for me. But I'm glad I watched it anyway. And then, lastly but not least, I'm 3 episodes in, and it's actually really, really good. I'm watching that Video Nasty.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, I've watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, so I'm actually quite liking it. It's quite enjoyable. It's just, and it's very Irish. But I just, as I'm watching it, I just think of you two, and I just can see you two doing it. Searching down for slasher films and band films. Literally every time I watch it, I'm like, that's Matt and Butch.
I reckon if we were like a bit older, we would have probably done that.
100%. So
Yeah.
get yourselves in like loads of scripts and stuff, getting it done. So yeah, I watched, that was it. But yeah, quite a lot. But I wish there was a bit more quality in there.
Nice. All right, lovely job. Okay, well, let's see what's been out and happening in the news. Anyone got any? No.
Yeah.
I have a few bits.
Go on.
Go on then.
Of which I'm not going to tell you. Yeah. So, whatever you've definitely got one. So,
All right,
Matthew Lillard's coming back, Scream 7.
Yep, and that was on the card. It had to be on the cards there. We knew at some point he'd have to come and return.
But also the guy there's another guy coming back from like one of the Scream films. Is it like one of the, I can't even remember.
I feel like they know this is going to be the last one, so they're just scraping everyone back just to get rid of it.
I know, but anyway, there's a couple of really cool things, guys, which I kind of happened upon. So Speak No Evil, the original Danish version.
Mm-hmm.
The director of that film is doing a remake of a film we reviewed not so long ago on the pod, and I just thought, when I read it, I thought, oh my, this could be quite good. So we know how much we love Speak No Evil and how bleak it was. He's doing directing a remake of Audition.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
So okay, so we're gonna get like a Dutch remake,
or a Danish one maybe.
Danish bacon.
Well, I think so. I don't know if it's an American remake or what, but it's an Audition remake coming, so that could be quite bleak. And then my favourite news of the week: there's a film coming out, a horror film told from, and you guys will love this, a dog's perspective.
What?
It's called Bad Boy.
Ooh.
And it stars, obviously, a dog, but it stars Ki Huy Kwan.
Oh, that's a horror, is it? I saw that
Yeah.
advertised, yeah.
And basically, I think the premise is the dog, obviously he's the dog's master, and the dog's like living this great life, but there's somebody trapped in a basement in the house, and the dog is like the only chance she has of getting out. So Ki Kwan could be playing a bit of a wrong in it. So sounds cool. Up for that.
We had Good Boy, didn't we? That was that was a fucking interesting one. Okay, good. I mean, the only thing I got is like we got a date for that Until Dawn movie to take on the movie video game that's been getting a lot of bashing by its fans. But there's a trailer out. Where it would have been out on Friday the 14th, Valentine's Day. So worth checking out. But it's out on the 25th of April. So we'll have to look out for that one. There's a cool poster for it. So yeah, I think that's going to get a lot of marketing, I think, over the next couple of months.
And there's that bloody trailer for that Old People's Home one with the puppet. That looks fucked up, with John Lithgow in it.
I haven't seen that.
No, not bad.
I sent it to you on WhatsApp, and you said it looks promising.
All right. It's been a long week. All right, Matt, you got any news?
Yeah, I have actually. Troma's Eating Miss Campbell will feed your appetite for the grotesque on Blu-ray in March. Probably not over here, I would imagine that's probably America only. But yeah, it's coming out on Blu-ray in March via Troma Entertainment. Obviously, it's got a lot of stars in it that we know. Lindsay Crane from the Book of Monsters, obviously to name but one. But yeah, the features are absolutely cram-packed on this one. Like, they've got like audio commentary, deleted scenes, outtakes, gore reel, loads and loads of stuff. But I don't know if it's going to come out here yet. But I just thought that was pretty good for Liam. I'm really happy that it's finally got a release. Because I know you were big on that one, weren't you, Butch?
I loved it. There's another release coming out which Paul might like. Hundreds of Beavers is getting a VHS release.
Yeah. Did you finish it? Did you?
No.
Oh.
As I didn't. You did ask me to go and watch Shark Side of the Moon, which I did start, and got into 5.5 minutes of it. It was
that bad.
It was like watching Sharknado without anything to like. No endearing. I don't know.
Fin to like.
Oh, very good.
I have got one bit, guys. I just I forgot to write it down. You know, Invader, the film we watched at Fright Fest.
Yes. Yeah.
That's getting a theatrical release.
Ooh, really?
May or June, I think. But yeah, it's out this year in cinemas.
It started off really well, that one, I thought.
Other way around.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What was it, 50 minutes?
Hopefully they've slimmed down that first 50 minutes.
I liked it. Well, I like the tension. It's good.
Oh, let's walk here. Now above. Now walk here.
Let's have an angry man shout at her.
Right. Talking about exposition. Should we get on to our main review?
Let's do it.
There have been 2 moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
Just relax. Remember to smile and act happy. Do they know? Iris, wake up.
What are you doing? Shut her down already.
What is she talking about, Josh?
This was not part of the plan.
I didn't mean to.
Did you jailbreak your sex bot?
Wow, Josh. The days of you controlling me are over.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah, she's tied up inside, so she's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm.
Eli, Iris. Shh, baby, you're on the phone.
Okay, this week's main review, we've all been to the cinema, and we went to see Companion. So a really brief synopsis. A weekend getaway with friends in a remote cabin turns into chaos after it's revealed that one of the guests is not what they seem. Obviously starring Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid and Rupert Friend, bizarrely. Sergey. Yeah, guys, come on, what did you think of this?
Well, don't forget Lucas Gage, who's been in Smile 2. You know, he was
Roadhouse.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I wondered where I knew him from. Alright, he was the drug guy in Smile 2, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
What did I think about this movie? I genuinely liked it. There was a lot of good to take away from it. In fact, no, it's just an enjoyable watch. It's an easy watch. It's right up my street, I think. It's just the right level of kookiness, I suppose. It's almost like a botched murder, you know, for money goes awry. And then it's almost like a comedy of errors. There's some interesting questions to ask, I think, each and every one of you in a moment. Matt, what did you think about it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It was good fun. I think we've seen a lot of this kind of thing done before, but it had its own kind of own, what am I trying to say, kind of feel to the movie.
Style.
Yeah. The writing was quite cool. I thought it was quite well written. The characters were quite fleshed out. I enjoyed this one. Enjoyed it.
Paul?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I kind of with you on it. It's a very easy watch. I liked it. It was good. It wasn't great. I suppose that is the thing.
Are we saying it might be a little bit horror light?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite subtle. I thought it might have gone like OTT at the end. Like, I thought it was going to go into like sort of upgrade territory, or like, you know, like I did think it was going to go bonkers. Cause it kind of had that little like crazy tone to it all the way through, like dipping into comedy here and there. But yeah, I don't think it went far enough for me where it could have gone. Yeah. Which is why I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it.
Sort of stayed on this very tonally. It's very interesting that it was like, was it from the writers or the producers for Barbarian? I'm not sure.
Producers,
but like, yeah, so it didn't have that now this is an interesting one. It didn't have that moment in it that Barbarian had for us. But now we've all seen the trailer, so we kind of knew from the title, you should kind of know what we're about to get. I mean, we've got a fuck bot, essentially. A companion bot. But we're a little bit Black Mirror-esque in the future, I suppose, where, you know, they've got these romantic companions. I guess the lonely people out there could rent or buy a companion bot, which is quite nice. And the technology looked very good. But if you didn't know, if you went in blind and you didn't know that the Sophie Thatcher was playing a robot, there were some subtle hints, I thought, very clever subtle hints at the start, like just like the way she walked, it's just a little bit off. But I thought a great one was just the fact that unquestionably she was carrying the luggage up to the house.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I did.
I just thought
we were going to get a bit more of that, like, sort of men are pricks type of, you know, line. Like, I thought that was going to go down the rate. I thought that was what the film was really going to go after, like, men are horrible.
I mean, it did toe that line quite a lot through it, which I thought was good. It did.
Yeah, he was a prick. Like Jack Quaid was a very good, that sort of would-be villain.
He plays it quite well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That kind of smarmy kind of arsehole.
Yeah, I mean, he's horrible. He's just a dickhead.
He's a dick.
That's basically where he plays it so well, because you are just by the end of it going, you're such a prick. And you know, even though he's trying to convince himself he's not through the whole film, you're just like, you are a knob.
It's like you're not on his side, but you don't hate him. That's what I found. I thought he is a knob. He's a complete knob, but I didn't dislike the character still, because I think I just like Jack Quaid. He's just something about him. If it had been
I kind of disliked him by the end, man. I mean, let's be fair, by the end he was a bit of a dick, putting them through all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, go on.
So they go to this like guy's house. And you think it's just like a party and a get together with all friends, and that's how it's set up. And you've got this Russian billionaire or millionaire called Sergei, who is like boyfriend to one of the friends. And then I didn't get that they were stitching him up or it was a heist film or anything like that. I thought, you know, they kind of concealed that quite well. I think obviously the tension was on that relationship, and you were thinking, waiting for the cyborg moment. So I quite like that kind of, oh well, that's quite clever that they're pulling a heist basically, using the robot to take the blame. And I thought the way they engineered that was quite good. But yeah, I just thought when it could have gone mental, it kind of just pulled back. But it was still, I mean, there was still some gory bits in it, and some like,
a lot of blood, a lot of brutality in bits and bobs. But it sort of stayed on the level of like almost like not quite as seedy as Don't Worry, Darling. But sort of, it was there. She sort of doesn't know. The programming is really, really clever, because she is devoted to to Jack Quaid's character. And like, there's also, now, did you know that there was another fuckbot in amongst them? That is
100%.
Yes, 100%. That's it straight away.
Really funny as well, because I was sat there going, well, this is obvious that, like, and it's a horrible thing to think, because they were just like the odd couple, right? So again, but it was just he was so nice and he was doing all the stuff for them, and I was like, oh, he's definitely, it's going to be revealed that like he's one as well. And then, but actually in the cinema, I was by myself, and then there was like 3 girls came in, like, ruined my experience. But they basically, when that got revealed, all you heard was, oh! And I was like, how the hell did you not get that?
Hey, mate, that just shows that you're an old hat, right?
Yeah.
And there is obviously still some suspense left in the world, which is great. That is a really cool. So that goes, that goes to show these aren't for us anymore. We go to watch them. They're not for us. They're for the younger generation.
I disagree, but yeah.
All right, fine. But it's nice to know that that people can go in there and still have that surprise though. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I like the bit where I kind of like the whole like sort of little monologue where he reveals he knows he's a robot as well, and he kind of worked it out, but he can't do anything about it, and it's like that. They love them, but it's like a forced love, and it's a pain that they can't really explain. They've got to satisfy this need to love, and it actually kind of puts them through the ringer, and it's actually quite inhumane what is being done to them, even though they are machines. And that was quite
see that. I thought I saw that in her as well. The sort of like pain, the twitching, the sort of the neurosis and stuff like that. Definitely. I mean, she's great. I love Sophie Thatcher, as we all know. So.
Well, she is. She was brilliant in this. She was really, really good in it. But like I said, I just thought when, obviously the plan's revealed and she kind of gets out, and then it's quite cool that she kind of takes over like her own sort of controls. I
love the control thing. Like, you could make them intelligent or not intelligent at all. It's like, didn't he have her on 10%? And you could have up to 100.
I think it was 40.
40%.
Oh,
she whacks herself. Yeah, she whacks herself up, and then he brings her back down to 0. It's just like, duh.
I like that. It's quite funny.
But I just
How much did he pay for her? Because that must have been so expensive.
We don't know, do we?
Because he was renting her, though, wasn't he?
Oh, was it renting?
Yeah, he was renting her.
I wonder how much it would. Would you get one ever?
If I was on my own and they were of that quality. Now the question is, like, it's
careful.
It's not about
You've only been married a little while, mate.
Where the quality of the bot, but like
quality of Megan Fox.
If as a friend of mine, how are you judging me? Am I allowed to take this companion bot to dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're because you can converse with it. Clearly that you can converse with it. But how are you trying to like say, can I borrow her for the evening? Like good old Sergey.
Swing bot.
Swing bot.
Put it in swing mode. Because we sort of had this in, there's, obviously Subservience is a little bit different, but like, we had that whole TV program, Humans, didn't we?
Yeah, it's got very touches of that for it. Yeah,
they had a sex mode, didn't they?
Yeah, because yes, they did. Yes.
They could be turned into.
I'm going to be honest with you, lads. I could never afford one of them, so it'd be more like Lars and the Real Girl for me.
You could probably just be able to afford the hand.
That's it.
It.
You never know, though.
Just buy the hand.
Might just be like buying a PS5 in the future.
Yeah, still can't afford it.
Yeah, true. On layaway, but then you're only paying for that instead of a actual girlfriend. So, what's more expensive?
Anyway, moving swiftly on before we get cancelled or divorced.
You can switch it off as well, which is quite a good option.
Wow.
It's terrible on it. Sorry, take that back.
But some of the kills were pretty cool. Officer Hendricks, I thought that whole, when it turned the aggression up, that was, again, like you said, Paul, it could have gone further, but I thought that was quite comedic in its...
That was the dude from Ozarks, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it was. But with that whole... Because he's a clown, he's a dick. We know he's a dickhead, old Jack Quaid. But he forgets to obviously change the settings on the Lucas Cage bot. So when he says stop the girl from leaving, Cat from leaving, he just goes and stabs her in the back because that's the setting that he's on, and it's like, what a dick. Yeah, that was quite funny.
Yeah, because they kind of bungle it, really, don't they? They bungle the whole thing. It's going so well, and then it just turns into like a calamity of errors. And obviously they're not professional criminals or anything like that. They're just trying to. They think they've had an idea and they think they've got it. Going back to the cop bit, I did think it was really good. The German bit was very funny.
Oh yeah,
the
German setting language, yeah.
Very well done.
Because she can't lie. So she's the best
literally telling him in German. And I love the fact she turned it, because obviously she's got her intelligence up. So she's literally gone, shit, I can't lie if he asks me, so I'm just going to have to change my language. And I thought that was very, very...
That was very clever writing. Very clever.
Very clever. And the bit with the sort of empathic. It didn't go into that. So I just liked the subtlety that it was just there. It was sort of, this was normal. And and lots of people mod these bots and stuff like that. It's just a thing. But yeah, his comeuppance was cool. And I think the exposition on the use of the wine, the sort of bottle opener was great, because it sort of popped up a few times and stuff like that. And I thought that was great use of that.
It was a very good kill.
Yes, that's very
and
good.
Also made me want to buy one.
Yeah, defo.
To open wine. All right.
All right. Yeah, so that was it was a pretty good one. It does beg the question: who's gonna? They're already making them in Japan. Not that to that quality yet, but they're out there.
You've done your research then.
But we all know there will be robots in the future. There will be. It's just, like you said, they're already kind of exist. Obviously not to that level, but it will happen.
Yep. I'm alright, I've got a wife.
At the moment.
At the moment. Till Fembot 2042 comes out.
I'm not saying she's just for that. I'm just saying she's good for other things.
Oh my god.
Love you, Sophie.
Hello, my name's Paul Butcher. Can I order the entire Yellow Jacket series, please?
Actually, the weather thing was quite funny.
When does the Twilight package come out? Upgrade.
Yeah, alright. So yeah, it was a good one. It was a good crack, and it's probably out of the other sort of movies that are similar, because I think there's a Black Mirror episode with Domhnall Gleeson sort of one, isn't he?
That's like the first ever episode, a series, isn't it? I'm sure it is. That's a quality cracking series.
Yeah.
But really. it did have lots of touches from a bit of everything really pulled into it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was its own kind of entity, so it was entertaining, and it wasn't too long. It kept me interested, and Sophie Thatcher was brilliant. I thought she was great.
Yeah, as was Jack Quaid, I thought as well. So yeah, really good one. Companion. There we go. How are you rating this one? Interesting. Paul, let's start with you.
I'm going to give it a 7. I don't think it warrants more than that, but that's not a criticism really. It's just, I think it was just a nice film to go and see, and I enjoyed it. But like I said, I kind of, the comparisons to Black Mirror, tick that off on your draw one last breath bingo card. We mentioned Black Mirror. But I kind of feel like I've seen it before, and I did think when they kind of started hunting her, when she whacked her intelligence up, I thought it was going to turn into, actually, I'm going to now hunt you guys. And it kind of just didn't go anywhere. It sort of lagged then and I thought that's when it really had a chance to like really elevate itself. But I did not like it, and it's definitely worth a watch. And people should go and see it. So, but 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say 7 out of 10 as well. Yeah, all round, really good writing. Kept me entertained, did the job. So yeah, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm pushing 8, but yeah, 7 for me. It's just really good acting, like really good stylistically, and it was just a really interesting story. If I'm not gonna, mark it down for maybe I didn't want it to go batshit. This one was just one that didn't need to go batshit. It was almost like she was quite innocent and only doing it almost out of necessity and like out of accidental. That's what kind of that had its charm for me. So yeah,
she's a superstar. She's going to be a massive star for many years. She's brilliant. I mean, she was unbelievable in Heretic, and she was great in this. So
popped up in Maxine as well.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about that, but
was she a Maxine? Fair.
She was the one who was doing the molds. And there's she's putting the plaster Paris.
I thought that was Halsey. Yeah. Was that not Halsey?
I'm pretty sure that was Sophie Thatcher in that role. Who she did the mold in that one. Halsey was the mate, wasn't it?
I don't know.
She's in Yellow Jackets.
She is in Yellow Jackets, and season 3 is coming out very soon.
She is the FX artist in Maxine. You are correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
And she was in the Boogeyman. Very good.
Yeah, there we go. So we're going to see her in more. We're becoming a bit of a scream queen. So she's definitely popping up in horror. Alrighty then. What's next? What's next for the podcast? Okay, well, with that next couple of weeks, we've got The Gorge, which has got Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller in, which does look very good. That's coming out on Apple Plus. And then there's also Heart Eyes, the Valentine's slasher. But we're going to go for the trailer where I hope we haven't seen it all, but so the absolute batshit monkey. I don't know what I feel like what they've given us on the trailer, if that's just a taste, and I hope it is, then it's going to be it could be fantastic. But we
have seen a lot of trailers.
I feel like we've seen a lot.
And if it's as good as it's Popcorn Bucket, then we're in for a right treat. The Popcorn Bucket's amazing.
Competition with the Red Hulk bucket for 35 quid that is currently out at the moment. That's the thing. Somebody's house is going to be very full of popcorn buckets. That's what I'm saying. That's obviously a new collection thing for somebody. Matt, I'm surprised that you haven't got in on that game yet.
No chance.
I don't think he's that stupid, is he? 35 quid.
I'm stupid, but I ain't that stupid. If I had, I would have bought the Alien Prometheus one, but I didn't. True. I restrained myself.
Fair play. All right, guys. Let's. So yeah, next episode we will be watching Monkey, and then maybe even getting Johnny Vegas on. Who knows?
Okay.
We won't. But there we go. So moving on now, we'll get on to our move from the vault.
Every year, hundreds of young people travel the country and disappear. God help those who get caught in the tourist trap. Tourist trap, where beautiful young people looking for excitement are tricked, terrorized, trapped. Let go! Tourist trap. Shock you can see. Terror you can feel. Heart-stopping suspense that makes this the nightmare that never ends. Something crazy's going on at the tourist trap.
Okay, so this episode's movie from the vault was picked by a listener, Andrew. Thanks for recommending this one. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis on this and we'll get straight into it. A group of young friends stranded at a secluded roadside museum are stalked by a masked assailant who uses his telekinetic powers to control the attraction's mannequins.
Oh, I feel like that's such a spoiler. Because I was questioning. I felt like I was questioning so much of this movie for the first half of it. I reckon, what, could it be ghosts? Could it be this? Could it be that?
Wow, this one is from old directed by David Schmeller, he hasn't done a lot of horror, really. Not loads and loads. He's done lots of stuff to do with Puppet Master. But I thought you would have known, Mr. Butcher, because you love that. But obviously, it's produced by our good old friend Charles Band.
I want to spoil something. I think you're going to say in the Matt's Facts.
No, go ahead. You can spoil it.
It stars somebody from a popular TV series, That 70s Show. Did anyone recognise her?
No.
Midge from
Really?
That 70s Show. Midge is in it.
Really?
She plays, I want to say, Tina, the one in the sort of, who's sort of brown hair. Yeah, the brown hair with it. Yeah, brown hair and blue shorts. That's Midge from That 70s Show.
She's also a Bond girl in A View to a Kill.
Ooh. There you go. But we didn't watch View to a Kill, so irrelevant.
Didn't watch That 70s Show either, dickhead.
Fucking should have then, fuckface.
I always remember her from A View to a Kill. One of my favourite Bond girls. Also,
she's in loads. She's in loads. Yeah, and she fucking Love Boat and all those sorts of things. So she had a career. She had a fair career. Anyways.
Dawn Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Is that one?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
So there we go. Tourist Trap. We picked this over something else. I can't remember. Primal Rage. Was it a good decision, Matt? I
have not heard of this film. I've not seen it. This is the first time I've seen it. It was an interesting film. Very interesting. I didn't hate it. And I kind of weirdly liked it as well in places because I can see it's kind of I can see other things pulling from this film, because we've obviously had other films around it like Waxwork and stuff like that.
Sort of took it from House of Wax maybe a little bit.
House of Wax, yeah, a little bit of that touch on it. But then you can see where people have taken things maybe from this film, like the roadside attraction kind of slasher kind of thing. But yeah, I kind of liked it. Because it's just weird. It's really creepy and weird in places. Had touches of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in there as well. But yeah, I thought it was
definitely had a 70s touch to it, didn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of liked it too, in a weird way. It wasn't it's very watchable, and odd. It was very.
Odd is the word.
Very odd.
Odd.
And it had a cool little twist, which I don't think I guessed. I don't think I guessed the twist. A couple of twists actually, not just the one. But I really didn't get the telekinetic powers. I really wanted it to be ghosts or magnets. I thought it was magnets or something like that. I thought he'd walked into a room at the start and all this stuff was shaking. I was like, oh, is someone pulling string? Can't see any string. Okay, so what, magnets? And that's where I went. I did not go telekinetic powers. I went to Magnets. So,
Come on, Geordie Paul, come on, lay it to us, mate. I can see you're chomping at the bit.
I didn't hate this, lads. Do you know what? It kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, it's creepy.
So even though it was quite light, there wasn't a lot of real horror to it, but just mannequins, man. And the way you had them like with the mouths open, and some of the sequences where they were doing like gyrating and stuff, and then I thought was really clever was the fact that obviously he believed all the mannequins were real, but then sometimes they were fucking real. Like some of the shots were actual people.
Yeah, there's definitely people moving around.
And it was like, it kept you kind of off guard. The telekinesis bit was a bag of bollocks, right? So that I don't know why they thought that was going to be in there. It didn't really need to be, Paul.
It was
the fact
so
it would have been
Firestarter sort of thing, wasn't it? It's very
It was just that, and especially if you're going to use telekinesis, right? Do more than bolt the door.
Move the key along on the floor.
He's a hillbilly with fucking telekinesis. What else is he going to do apart from play with mannequins? All right.
Yeah, I mean, to say you didn't guess the twist. I mean, it was straight away. I was like, well, that's him.
I mean, you could see his hair for his mannequin.
I was going for the twin angle. Thought it might have been his twin.
But yeah, definitely got Leatherface vibes from the whole like mask and things like that. I thought it was really like, obviously the curly hair I'd be amazed if it didn't make it look like Leatherface.
Oh yeah, because the red, like the scarf and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then, like the lipstick done and stuff. It was very much like, yeah. But yeah, I kind of creeped this out. And I think I watched it thinking, Jesus, this deserves a remake.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Yeah, behave.
But it needs more balls to the wall remake, like go like proper gore on it and stuff.
Do you know what? Sorry to cut you off, but do you know what was really refreshing on this one? I gave it like 2 minutes. I was like, right, these chicks are going to be naked in that pond in about 5 seconds. And they didn't go there. And I was like, oh my God.
I know, disappointing really, but yeah, no.
Wow.
It's a 70s movie.
I was like, oh God, here we come.
It's fine. But there's another movie that we're forgetting, Matt, that definitely took its nod from this one. Is The Short Mannequin that we saw.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
maybe that's where they got
my short Twitter feud.
Maybe that's where they got it from.
Yeah, mannequins are creepy, honestly. They can be quite scary, as we saw in this one. If you just pan the camera around and do startling shots. Again, it's one of those musics where horror movies where they've got a composer, so you've got the score going along with it, which is quite interesting. And there was some weird fucking moments, like I don't know, like who died. It could have been. I was still thinking. The thing is, I was still thinking it was possibly a ghost when the first woman died. Like when she got like strangled by her scarf. I thought there might have been a ghost doing that. Still didn't.
But he was flicking his head about. Did you not get that?
Didn't see it.
It was such a bold choice to have him have telekinetic powers and not have any reference to it in the script or any exposition about it or anything. It gave you like the reason why he's kind of killing everybody, because his brother was into this, made all the models, all this type of stuff, but then was having an affair with his wife, and it's obviously caused him to have this mental breakdown. But there was no mention of why he's got telekinetic powers.
Didn't need. I like that. Didn't need to be.
But I just found it a bit like, oh, hang on, this is a bit daft.
There was also a little bit of like the undertone of them always referring to, because this was a big thing in America, obviously, when they made kind of the freeway, like the main roads in the 70s, it took absolutely loads of business from all these cafes, roadside attractions, truck stop, all these kind of things absolutely went down derelict. Didn't have no jobs, no money, nothing.
I mean,
So
we've all seen the first Cars film, man, and it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
I thought there was, it was also, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, right? There were two blokes in this, right? Woody, who got killed first.
And Jerry.
Then is Jerry. And then there's the three women, right?
Yeah.
So there was another woman tied up downstairs at one point called Tina. And she wasn't part of their party. So she was already there.
Yeah, I think he found her, didn't he? He found her somewhere. He said, I found her. Where is it? He found her. I can't remember. He definitely said, they obviously shoehorned that into the script because he's like, yeah, I found her down here and like on her own. Really?
So fucking random. And then he kills her with like putting a mold over her. And that was quite dark. I thought, because the way he was sort of describing her death to her as he was sort of doing it as well.
And his creepy voice.
Yeah. It's quite dark, that. I thought, yeah, fair play.
I like the way he goes and changes his kind of, his outfit and his head, like his mannequin face. Like he puts his outfit on to the one that he goes out. He goes, yes, I wear this one when I go out. I go out a lot. It's like, my brother thinks I stay here, but I don't. I go out. It's like, all right, calm down. We know you've got a social life.
The double denim. Good old Bonnie, who just goes absolutely insane at
Molly.
the end. Is it Bonnie?
No, Molly.
Is it Molly?
Molly, yeah.
Yeah. Then we get, her with all her friends in the car.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, again, that didn't make any sense. So obviously, the twist is obviously that he is the killer, the nice old man that helps them, who wasn't really nice. He was really creepy at the start anyway. But, he's got like that dissociative personality where he's got that split personality thing. And, which seems to be on like every fucking like slasher film in the 70s and 80s. Like, just make him have split personalities. It's grand, don't worry about it. Yeah, it kind of goes weird at the end where like, this is where I said, like it all seems to be in his head whereby he's like bringing the mannequins to life and obviously dances with his wife and then who he killed, and then she then becomes like alive, but is it in her head? Is it in his head? And obviously Jerry comes in to rescue Molly, but then you find out he's actually a mannequin. He's been turned into a mannequin.
That made absolutely no sense whatsoever. But tell you what, the special effects that happened when that moment where she realised that she was seeing Jerry as a mannequin, when his arm, like, pulled his arm off and he didn't make any, change to his visual state, and then his head popped off, and I'm like, what? I thought the special effects was fucking really good.
But I never thought she'd like obviously then gone all over the top, like mental, because then she'd obviously picked all of her friends up and they were driving away in the car where they're all mannequins, and she's like la 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 la. But she kind of just went from scared to batshit crazy in like 3 seconds.
Why not? It was again, it's just some really, really interesting and strange and odd decisions in this movie, which is what we like, Matt, with when you sort of think about those sort of ones we've watched, like Spookies, where they've just been clearly had to shoehorn a fucking story and like out of nowhere. It wasn't quite as bad as that, but there was definitely like things you just like, oh, that's a choice.
Yep. Also, there's a strange thing like that, the Molly in it. That I got a feeling that she had the hots for the old guy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A lot. Because I thought she was going to side with him by the end and just become one of his like friends to the mannequin family or something. That's real strange.
I kind of got the thing that he was like trying to recreate his wife, and he was waiting for the right person. And that's why I kind of got that why Tina was in the basement, because she was going to be his wife, but then he found a better one.
Upgrade.
Yeah. That's what I kind of got from it, where it's like, oh, you're now special and you're different from all the others and all this type of stuff.
I'm not being funny, but out of all those chicks, I would have definitely picked Becky The one with the striped top. She was
Well, that was Midge, so of course you
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I know.
That's the Bond girl.
He picked the wrong one, didn't he?
I don't know. It was questionable throughout, but again, it had some absolutely amazing charm. Another one which I'm so glad that we got the opportunity to sort of watch. And
10 out of 10.
have you managed to pull any facts?
Yes, I have. This is funny, man. As you mentioned about it, like, kind of, how strong the violence is and stuff. The film holds the distinction of being one of the few slasher films in horror film history to receive a PG rating, as the PG-13 rating wouldn't exist for 5 more years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit strong for PG.
Can you imagine? How did I get that?
Hey, no nudity. No, the kills.
It's creepy as hell.
There's no blood.
There's axes being thrown around.
That's the same rating as the Goonies.
I know.
Could see that.
Crazy, isn't it? The mannequin who gives the female lead something to drink is actually director David Schmoller's then wife. The mannequin originally had 2 lines, but Schmoller had them edited out during post-production, and she never forgave him for that. His own wife. Bastard. The script originally called for nudity, but director David Schmoller said he was too bashful and embarrassed to bring it up with Tanya Roberts and the other actresses during the casting. When they got to the lake scene, wow, didn't we know that? Schmoller finally asked them if they'd be willing. The collective answer was no, even though Robin Sherwood had been nude in her first film, The Love Butcher, in 1975. You in that one, Butch? And and she would later go on to be nude in her last role in Death Wish 2. Tanya Roberts would finally go topless in the same year in The Beastmaster and fully nude in Sheena, Queen of the Jungle in 1984. So she must have just not liked him. According to the first assistant director, Ron Underwood, cocaine use was rampant on the set. Actor Chuck Connors was engaged in heavy usage of the substance, despite appearing in anti-smoking commercials at the time that the film was being shot. On one occasion, Underwood entered the set and was struck in the head by a bag of cocaine that had fallen out of the pockets of a lighting rigger. Allegedly.
Brilliant.
Last one. Originally, Sluzen was going to just kill his victims and mummify them into lifelike mannequins, much like the killer in The House of Wax 2005, which is very much a modern variation on this film, despite being a remake of Mystery of the Wax Museum from 1933 and The House of Wax 1953. In the original script, there was no supernatural element, and Sluzen was not telekinetic. That addition was suggested last minute by one of the producers of the movie, and though the telekinesis is never explained, it still is very effective and makes the movie that much creepier and strange.
Yeah, sure. Magnet. Could have been magnets.
Could have been magnets. Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Craziness.
You
What we rating
can
this
tell
one
where
at?
the bottles were flying out of the thing. It was on wires, though. You can blatantly tell.
It's a 6 out of 10 for me, but in a really positive 6 out of 10. Not a negative way. It's like, I just can't give it any more.
Endearing way.
An endearing way. Yeah, 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I think 6 is fair. I mean, on a rewatch, make it up to 7. You never know.
A rewatch.
Mr. Stevens?
I agree with you, lads. I've got 6 out of 10 here. Like I said, it was enjoyable. It got better as it went on. It took a while to get there as well, but it did creep me out in places. So
I must admit as well, the poster is banging.
Odd. Again, very odd.
Yeah, young people disappear.
Yeah,
Lovely job. Thanks for that. That was
Yeah, cheers, Andrew. I really appreciate you getting in contact and recommending.
So, get involved. Send us your recommendation. We will watch them, and sometimes we won't trash them. Very much enjoyed that one.
We can't promise that Jory Paul won't know.
Nah, I can't.
Yeah, I am not making that promise.
But I gave up my pick last time. It's my pick now. And the next episode, we're going to be watching a film from the 90s. All right, we're going to get into the naughty 90s with a movie that I haven't seen. So I picked one from the 90s that I haven't seen and wanted to see for a while. It's Wishmaster. It's by Wes Craven. Geordie Paul, I think, have seen it. So
This was an old Blockbuster video rental back in the day.
Lovely job. I've seen a couple of clips, shall I say. I'm really looking forward to watching this one.
I remember the trailer. I'll never forget the trailer with the crystallization bit. And I was like, oh my god, got to see this. So it'll be interesting to see how well it's...
I think I like the poster.
Not age.
I'm surprised it's one of the ones you haven't got on, VHS rental.
You know what? I don't think I've actually seen it all the way through. I've seen bits of it. I know I have. But I've never watched it all the way through, so it'd be interesting to watch this one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There we go, Wishmaster. That brings us to the end of another episode, 174. So thanks very much everyone for listening. Write in, like Andrew did. Thank you very much to Andrew for doing that.
Where are you from? 1935.
Send us a letter to our PO box. Or our social media
things. Cartoon Club, PO box.
At the end. And then Emu will pull something out of the cauldron. Is that the thing?
Drop bags.
Yeah, drop bags. Right, moving on to episode 175, which is fucking good number to get to, man. So for the next episode, we'll be doing Stephen King's short story, which has been adapted by Osgood Perkins, who did Longlegs. We'll be watching The Monkey, and then I've just pulled out of the vault Wishmaster from 1997, and we will come back next episode with a something to scream about. Have a quiz, got something in the works. Right. Is there any one more thing to say? And there's no more room in hell. Here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter @DrawOneLast, Instagram @DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at drawnelastbreathpod@hotmail.com.